My talk, weight loss in pregnancy with obesity, is it a risky gamble or a beneficial bet? Why this talk? Because rising overweight and obesity amongst Indian women increases the high metabolic risk at lower BMI. Indian women have 30 to 40% of reproductive age group obesity, which increases the risk of complications both for the mother and baby. And we show a greater heterogeneity. For the mother, obesity-related pregnancy increases the risk of GDM by 3 to 8 times, preeclampsia 2 to 4 times, increased risk of cesarean section and postpartum hemorrhage. For the baby, increased risk of congenital anomalies, double the risk of stillbirth, increased risk of macrosomia and NICU admissions. Also, increased risk of childhood obesity and diabetes and cardiovascular disease. The current guidelines on weight gain as per the Institute of Medicine recommends a weight gain of 11.5 to 16 kgs in women who are normal weight. This is not working. For overweight, a recommended weight gain of 7 to 11.5 kgs. For obese women, a weight gain of 5 to 9 kgs. No formal recommendations for intentional weight loss during pregnancy. From the Indian perspective, we say overweight BMI of 23 to 24.9 and obesity of more than 25. So for Indian women, limited weight gain would be less than 5 kg gain during pregnancy. Weight maintenance, no weight gain, and weight loss would be a negative across gestation. India lacks official BMI specific weight loss targets in pregnancy, so we need to use our judgment. And the global practice that India uses, if an overweight or obese woman gains less than the Institute of Medicine targets, but the fetus grows appropriately, do not push to catch up weight. So the key question for women entering pregnancy with obesity is limited weight gain, maintenance, or mild weight loss safe, and can it be beneficial if the nutrition is adequate? Traditional viewpoint is that any weight loss is potentially harmful, but the severity of obesity, the pre-existing complications, nutritional adequacy, and the timing of weight change are critical factors. There is enough evidence for pre-pregnancy weight loss, reducing the pregnancy complication, improving fertility, and reducing the GDM risk by 40%. The pre-pregnancy interventions, we all know, includes lifestyle modification, medically supervised weight loss, anti-obesity medications, and bariatric surgery with recommended timing prior to pregnancy. Bariatric surgery, we know, decreases substantial weight loss, leading to decreased incidence of GDM, preeclampsia, and macrosomia during pregnancy. A delay of 12 to 24 months before conception is recommended to optimize maternal fetal outcomes, but we need to take care of the nutritional deficiencies and the increased risk for small for gestational age infants following bariatric surgery. High quality studies remain limited for evidence of weight loss during pregnancy. Observational data shows mixed outcomes. Recent systemic reviews suggest modest weight loss of less than 5% may be safe in women with BMI of more than 35. The landmark study published in Lancet of 2024 examined outcomes in 15,000 plus obese pregnancy where gestational weight gain was low or even negative. For women with class 1 or class 2 obesity, going below the Institute of Medicine guidelines, that is less than 5 kgs, did not increase the risk of adverse outcomes compared to those who gained within recommendations. For class 3 obesity, less weight gain was actually associated with better outcomes. Women who gained no weight had a 19% low risk of composite outcomes compared to those who gained a minimum of 5 kgs. In other words, no weight gain or modest weight loss was not a risky gamble in these groups. It was often beneficial. And this real-world data gives assurance that controlled weight maintenance or loss can be safe in pregnancy with obesity. The lifestyle intervention trial, LIMIT trial, looked at the overweight obese women and found no adverse outcomes with modest weight control with an 18% reduction in macrosomia rates. The UPBEAT trial focused on behavioral intervention to reduce gestational weight gain with no significant difference. Evidence from clinical practice examined weight loss in women with class 3 obesity, and weight loss up to 5% was associated with reduced risk of preeclampsia and cesarean delivery, with no increase in small for gestational age infants. So, for women with obesity, limited gain or maintenance under supervision appears safe, and in higher classes, possibly beneficial on composite outcomes, but we need to assess the fetal growth and micronutrient insufficiency. Historically, intentional weight loss during pregnancy has been approached with caution, and the key concerns about restricting weight or losing weight are ketosis, inadequate micronutrient intake, decreased placental function, and altered fetal programming with long-term consequences. Enough metabolic effects of weight change with decrease in the systemic inflammation, enhanced insulin sensitivity, and reduced placental dysfunction. But the nutrition considerations must be met with increased intake of protein, essential fatty acids, micronutrient requirements usually increase during pregnancy, so enhanced supplementation is often necessary and regular monitoring to detect and address the deficiencies promptly. Traditionally, we add about 300 calories beyond baseline in the later trimester, but for women with obesity, aim to nutrient dense and not calorie dense intake, and we must individualize the diet plan. Exercise has been covered by my last speaker, and that is beneficial. So the safe approaches to weight management are prioritize the dietary quality over calorie restriction, eliminate ultra processed food, moderate the carbohydrate intake, ensure adequate intake, and encourage regular moderate physical activity tailored to pregnancy. We should avoid crash dieting, prolonged fasting, and ketogenic patterns without supervision. We all know that weight loss drugs are contraindicated in pregnancy, and if the woman is post-bariatric, manage the supplements and absorption closely. Women who might benefit most are women with class 3 obesity, those with diabetes or chronic hypertension or metabolic syndrome or previous pregnancy complications. Those who should not pursue weight loss are those with multiple gestational pregnancy, eating disorders, pre-existing malnutrition. Intentional weight loss is not recommended for people with BMI of less than 30, and a history of growth-restricted infants is a contraindication. Of course, monitoring is important. Serial ultrasounds to assess fetal growth and detect early signs of fetal restriction, regular nutritional assessment, blood glucose and blood pressure tracking, and screen for disordered eating behaviors. Case 1 illustrating successful weight management in a 35-year Gravida 2 Para 1 with a BMI of 42 with previous GDM who lost 4 kgs during first trimester under nutritionist supervision without formal intervention, delivered a healthy 3.4 kg infant at 39 weeks gestation, illustrating safe, modest weight loss with close monitoring in a high-risk obesity. Second case of unsupervised weight loss, 28-year-old, BMI of 38, old PCOS, initiated self-imposed restricted diet, losing 8 kgs by 20 weeks, developed ketonuria and multiple micronutrient deficiencies, requiring urgent nutritional intervention to address the deficits, and delivered a small for gestational age infant weighing 2.1 kg at 38 weeks. So we need to stratify the risk with standard prenatal care with emphasis on quality nutrition for BMI between 30 to 35 without comorbidities, and specialized multidisciplinary care and modest weight management strategies for BMI of more than 40. So the clinical pathway for weight management starts in the preconception phase, where you need to encourage weight loss. At the first prenatal visit, comprehensive assessment of BMI, comorbidities and nutrition, individualized nutritional plans, collaborative team approach, and postpartum support to reduce the weight trajectory. So book these patients early, record weight and height, classify BMI as per Asian or Indian cutoff, set target. If obesity, then aim for a weight loss of 5 to 9 kgs, and if class 2 or class 3 obesity, then maintenance, but the fetal growth needs to be adequate. Plan the diet, look after quality, increase physical activity and supplement the micronutrients. Monitor weight at each visit, fundal height and fetal targeted scans. Escalate if the fetal biometry lags or the maternal deficiencies emerge. What do we counsel the patient? Pregnancy is not eat for two, it's eat extra carefully. We will focus on nutrients, not just calories. And if your scans show that your baby is growing well, you don't need to push weight gain. So the key takeaways are that pre-pregnancy weight loss clearly reduces maternal and fetal complication. Weight stability or modest weight loss may benefit select high-risk women during pregnancy. It is important to individualize the risk-benefit assessment, emphasize on nutritional quality, and close monitoring of fetal growth and maternal nutrition is critical when weight loss occurs. Obesity should be treated as a modifiable risk factor in reproductive care. Prioritize preconception weight optimization, individualized management based on BMI and other comorbidities. Focus on ensuring nutritional adequacy. To summarize, for a woman with obesity, not gaining excess weight is definitely beneficial, and a small weight loss during pregnancy is not inherently dangerous. It can be a part of the positive strategy to ensure a healthy pregnancy. The gamble only becomes risky if weight loss is pursued inappropriately through malnutrition or ignoring the medical advice. With proper care, what was once feared as a gamble is now increasingly viewed as a prudent, evidence-based approach to improve outcomes in pregnancies complicated by obesity. The emerging consensus is a healthy mother, a healthy baby, not by eating for two, but by smart nutrition for one. And in the context of India's rising diabetes and obesity burden, this approach could be specifically impactful in our clinical practice, making it a timely topic for DIOBICON. Thank you.